We're rolling, we're going, we're fast, we're moving today. Go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourself, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Yes. Go ahead and tell us who we're speaking with and how we get a hold of you online.
Okay, my name is Silvia, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Montevideo, Uruguay. I started to write songs when I was like around 6 or 7 years old.
Yes.
And right now I'm writing, for me, for other artists and in other different genres. Mainly for me is on the pop new age, that's what I call it, because it's a mixture between pop and new age in the lyrics. That's what I'm doing right now.
So, how did you get started doing the music thing?
Well, my parents, they were both of them, they were teachers. My mom was a piano teacher, and my father used to play trumpet. But it was a big argument because they didn't want me to be in the music business because they didn't work as teachers. So they wanted me to be in their music, in their business, family business, which I kind of like rejected. So it was kind of like a conflict all my life. I kept studying. I always knew I wanted to be, a singer. I always knew I wanted to be a songwriter since I was, like I said, 6, 7, 8 years old. I basically didn't have any toys or anything. I was playing always with music. And I fell in love, with the music on the radio back in the 70s and 80s. And it was very hard to do like here in Uruguay, in a Spanish-speaking country. It was not accepted, somebody who write in English, and it's still not accepted. So it was very hard for me, and I always had that goal. So when you are 15 years old in South America, especially for a girl, you have the option of having like a big party or a long trip. And of course, I chose the trip for related to my music. I wanted to go to New York. That was my goal, to go to New York and be over there and all the playing in the radio stations or showing my music to producers and everything. And my father told me, yes, I'm going to pay for the trip to you. You can go. But at the end of the time, I waited for like 3 years, and nothing happened. So I worked all that time, and I put some money together, and I literally ran away from my family and ended up in New York when I was like 18 or 19 years old by myself.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty damn amazing.
It was a big issue. Yeah, that was a big issue. They called the FBI and everything trying to, track me down. It was insane. But, it was so good. You are not going to believe this. At the airport here in Montevideo, I found a person. I started to talk to her because in the airplane I started to get like nervous because I'm going to be there alone, landed up in New York by myself, $825. That was all I had. And I was pretty nervous, and I started to talk to her. And then when we were about to land, in, I think it's John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the airport.
Yes.
She told me, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to visit your family? And I was like, no. And I told her the story. And she started to freak out. And it's like, I'm not going to leave you here alone. There's no way I'm going to leave you here in New York. You're my responsibility. So she introduced me to her family where, they were to pick her up over there. And turns out to be that their children knew my cousin here. It was insane. So they took me to their house in New Jersey, in Dover, actually. And, this lady was amazing. And she was just laughing. The husband was very mad at me. He said, how are you going to do that? And she was, beautiful. And I told her what I was there, that I wanted to do my music. And turns out to be that she had a co-worker that had a studio. So I paid, for my demos. I recorded 2 songs, and that was awesome for me. And it came back, after a while. Ended up, I went back to New York, live over there for like 2 or 3 months, and I came back, to Uruguay with the recordings, and tried to do my best, but I couldn't play them. So I kept studying, and then after a few years, I went to study to Berklee College of Music. It was very hard to be accepted. I had to send a lot of information. I couldn't complete, my major wanted to be a songwriter, but I couldn't. It was, way too expensive for us, so that's it. I studied as much as I could. I brought all the books that I could, and I studied by myself, everything that I could, And then in 2001, I decided to go to Nashville. I moved up there, with my boyfriend at the time, and we got married over there, and we stayed there for 15 years. And I met co-writer, a lot of co-writers. I studied everywhere I could. I studied in BMI, all the songwriters that they have teaching over there, ASCA, BMI, they have classes all the time. I went to National Songwriters Association. I went to Tennessee Songwriters Association. All of them. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
It's a great thing.
Fantastic. Well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna play some of your music. Tell me a little bit about "Calling You." We're gonna play that here in a few moments.
Well, thank you so much. Well, that's a song that I wrote actually to my father when I was like around 15 years old, something like that. It just came all together, all in one piece, music.
Yes.
Like I said, I have a very kind of like cold relationship with him. He never paid attention too much, so I just one day I just sat down and wrote this whole entire song. It was
fantastic. Well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to the song, and we will be back here in just a few seconds here on our world famous KJAG Radio broadcast, coast to coast, border to border. Back here in a few with our guest. And she is going to join us back live here in just a few seconds. And we are going to go to this track and right now here on our world famous KJAG Radio broadcast.
I call you the night when I feel alone and so afraid. I need you with me, Dad. I'm still your little girl. Don't you understand that I need love? I need love. So many times I am calling you in the night. I feel myself fly to your heart, calling you in the night. I want to feel your hand holding mine. You never believed that a kid could really feel this much. Sometimes a kiss, Dad, is that really love? Don't you understand that I need love? I need love. So many times I am calling you in the night. I feel myself fly to your heart, calling you in the night. I want to feel your hand holding mine. I'm still waiting for you like I am a child. In my dreams I keep wondering when will you come back home, and each time it's the same. Now I know that I'll always be calling you in the night. I feel myself fly to your heart, calling you in the night. I want to feel your hand holding mine.
Back here live with Silvia from Uruguay, and she hung up. So I guess great music, and check out Silvia.